Welcome to Brew and Review with Mike and Jake from Orange Cactus Coffee. Join them as they put coffees and brew methods to the test.
Ooh, that's right. And you know, this time, courtesy of Jon, thank you again, thank you so much. But courtesy of Jon, we've got more Tim Wendelboe coffee in the house. So we take a little bit of a different brew and review approach, and this time we examine the beans more closely than we do the roaster, the coffee legend, or the farm. Go ahead, play my track.
All right, well, let's hear it. Review coffee, review, review coffee, review, review coffee, review, review coffee, review.
Hi, welcome to Brew and Review. I'm Jake Goebel. With me is my coffee partner in crime, the Mike Kincaid, and the Brew and Review show is brought to you by Orange Cactus Coffee.
Oh, I thought you were going to make a big announcement there.
No big announcements.
It's proudly sponsored to you
proudly
by
sponsored.
whoever wants to send us coffee.
Or money.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea. Well, I guess in this one, it would be sponsored by Jon then. Thanks, Jon, for sending us coffee.
Yeah.
He's the man. He sent us a subscription to Tim Wendelboe's coffee. We reviewed Tim Wendelboe's coffee earlier, and we talked a lot about Tim and about we talked a lot about the beans and the farm and the Tim, the man, the myth, the legend, the coffee legend that is Tim Wendelboe. This time, we're going to focus a little bit more on the beans themselves. This time. Because let's be honest, I have no idea what an SL28 is. It says it on there, SL28. And this one says Colombia y Caturra. So there are different varietals of coffee beans that are grown, plants that are grown in the ground. And we're going to talk a little bit about them.
From?
They're different. Yes, they come out of the ground.
They're not made in a test tube or a factory in case you were...
No.
We got to back up a little bit.
The SL28 probably does.
There's a little...
Yeah, a little bit of hybrid engineering.
But we'll get into that.
A little bit of hybrid engineering.
I think you're right. You're right. What we're trying to do is we thought, how can we make this a little different? We've already reviewed Tim. We love Tim.
How can we make it good?
Gooder. How can we make it gooder?
All right, it's going to be
just
better.
Reviewing.
It's never going to be good, but it might be better.
I'm not good, and that's not bad. It may never be bad.
Wreck-It Ralph,
and that's not good.
Breaks the internet coming out. Shouldn't it be Ralph wrecks the internet?
Shouldn't it be? Yeah,
but it's not.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So we're going to talk about beans. We're going to try and see if we can learn a little bit more with you here. So this should be exciting. I'm pretty pumped up, and the credit for the show's format and the fact that it's actually going to be good goes to Mike because I had nothing. I was like, we're just going to sip coffee and talk about it.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jake. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I found it interesting because this shipment, right, from Tim, both from Finca Tamana, both produced by Luis. Sorry. Why did I get that?
Elias Roa.
I don't know why I said Luis.
Elias Roa.
And same farm.
A.K.A. Luis.
Elias. Well, Luis.
Elias Roa, a.k.a. Luis.
Luis is the gentleman that has helped me on my my remodel with my home recently.
So good. So pretty much the same dude.
Pretty much, yeah. One grows coffee, one like remodels houses.
One's in Colombia, one's in Arizona.
Hey, don't you forget, you already gave me credit for the success of this show. We can't go back now. Elias Roa.
Yeah.
And but they're different varieties, as Jake mentioned. So what we did is right now I don't know.
Yeah, not all coffee is just coffee. And it's not just 100% Arabica or Robusta. It's not just Robo or Arabica. There's more to it than that. Mm-hmm. That's like way down the rabbit hole. And we're going to go down that rabbit hole with you today. Let's get the sniffy sniff going.
Let's go. Yeah, so these are marked, and it doesn't matter. One says one.
The other says two. They're blind. We don't know which one is which.
And the bottom of the bags are marked, and where they came from corresponds with that variety. So, yeah, let's assess. What are you getting? So being careful not to look at the bottom. The Colombia and Caturra is brown sugar, citrus, red currants. And the SL28 is black currants, not red, black, and flowers.
Flower. I love flowers.
Would you hide it on me?
Yeah, I sure did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Snip, you gotta tell my 20-month-year-old. 20-month-year-old?
20-month-year-old. Yes, that guy.
20-month-year-old.
20-month-year-old.
20 months.
20 months going on 20 years.
A year and 20 months, actually. That's how he's,
so good. We are killing it today. We're so good at this.
That used to confuse the heck out of me.
I think it's a lot because you're a dude.
Well, when you first had a kid or somebody would come or you'd ask, oh, how old are they, she, he?
Oh, they're 23 months. They're 18 months. They're 17 months.
Oh, they're 36 months.
It's like, what does that mean?
At what point do you stop referring to months?
24 months.
And switch to years?
Yeah, 24 months.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Hard and fast rule.
Hard and fast.
You hit it here.
I just said fart and fast. Fart and fast rule, 24 months.
Heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Right, can you tell?
Once you're past 24 months, you're into the terrible twos, a.k.a. terrible twos. We never had terrible twos, but you're into terrible twos, they say, as they say. So.
There's a slight difference, but I don't know that I could distinguish.
One's spicier. One's like black pepper, and that's not on there.
Grinding.
Mikey's going to get to grinding. Uh-oh, spray it up. Yeah, nice. There you go. Give it a little spray. So what Mikey's doing, he's got his little cologne sprayer, and his little cologne sprayer has nothing but water in it. And what he does is he sprays the beans a little bit, gets a little bit of moisture in there, makes them grind a little better, makes it reduces the static. No static.
I'm going with one.
No
first.
Static.
Which
so
makes sense.
It reduces the static, and it kind of helps the coffee come out of the grind. The just come all the way through. Nothing gets stuck, left behind inside the burrs. But the Lido 3 that he's using is a hand grinder. He's giving me the weirdy look while he's grinding under the table. It is kind of bizarre, but it's a hand grinder, so it typically does get everything all the way through. Like motorized grinders, that's really where the problem is. I don't know why. It's maybe the way the motor is, but the way the hand grinders normally sit, it's
sometimes
just
with the chute.
It's just burr. Yeah, there's a chute. There's no chute in hand grinders. It just goes burr and then container.
Burr
just
to
right
container.
Down there. Yeah, just
Anytime
burr to container.
you can go burr to container.
Anytime you can go burr to container, you're going to have a much better grind. See, look, and you can even you can hear it. You can hear it. That thing. Woo! Look at that. Spinning, winding. So the Lido is kind of like a long cylinder. And is it my turn? All right, you got to take over the voiceover. Oh, okay. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to brew this thing.
You got to heat the water up.
V60. Remember, people can only hear. They can't see. Some people can see. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see, and that's cool. But if you're listening to the podcast, Mikey's going to take over the play-by-play. Mikey's on the... Oh, sorry.
All right, so in order to fill the time, and you might see a slight flicker in the video because we're heating the water up, which impacts the lights we have. So Jake and I, we don't know a lot about varietals, varieties, the different types. We just know that sometimes they're referenced on the bag or in the green bean, when we're going to purchase, shopping for green. So our friend, not really our friend, but I like to think of him as a friend.
You don't know us.
You don't know us. Well, he does. I don't know what he thinks of us. And that's really what dictates friendship. Is what somebody thinks of you.
I forgot the thing upstairs. I forgot the bowl.
He forgot the bowl. Oh, well, you can use a glass. Ryan Brown, his book has a nice chapter on the different types or varieties. And so that is what we're going to look at. And we're going to discuss what he says here.
This is a lot of coffee. You did 22.
We're 22 to 360, please. Yep. You should be accustomed to it. I follow rail exactly.
So crazy because it's like I'm killing it at home. Like with the 2300 recipe, everything's cool, everything's great. I got it all dialed in. I'm pretty much the man.
That's 15
brewing
to
on the
1.
Hario V60.
That's not acceptable.
And then Mikey shows up,
recommend.
Switches up the ratio. He does this to me just so I'm embarrassed on the recording. That's all.
You're just adding 60 grams more water.
And I forgot the spoon. We got it.
I even reminded you. Okay.
I gotta go get it.
Pause.
Okay, I'm back. Spoon in hand, and I brought the bowl as well. Let's do this.
All right, get going. So let's just take a look. I'm going to read some information about Colombia and Caturra. So what's interesting, some of the things that Ryan points out is that the Bourbon and Typica are the parents of most of modern coffee varieties. And those two cultivars are responsible for most of the flavors you associate with coffee. So a lot, by and large, is derived from those two. Getting more into Where is it? Caturra, right? Was that what I said? Caturra. So here's what he says about Caturra. You're doing good, Jake. Looks nice. Don't forget, 60 grams more water. Thanks. A natural mutation of Barbone, Caturra was first discovered in Brazil and is known for being of similar quality to Barbone in the cup, albeit grown on a smaller, more wind-resistant tree. Like ISIC's work on Taquisic in El Salvador, the Agronomy Institute of Campinas, IAC of Brazil, made further selections of a Caturra via mass selection. Caturra is capable of carrying a complex range of flavors from cherry to citrus and from dark chocolate to caramel. Not caramel. Don't let Jake convince you otherwise.
I'm just saying. So it's we got the vortex. We got the vortex of taste going. The taste vortex. The vortex of pleasure. The vortex of coffee.
Well, easy.
The vortex of awesomeness.
What's the aroma? What are you getting from the...
I'm getting a lot of coffee in that one just to make Tim mad. I'm going to say it. Okay, so here's the deal. The coffee's not quite as active as it normally
compared
is.
to other
coffees.
And it is fairly fresh. Within 10 days, I think we got it.
The roasting is fresh, but I wonder the age of the beans. What I think is way different about Tim that I didn't notice before. He puts when it was harvested on there, on the back. He puts the harvest date on the back.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure does. But Tim is one of, as we mentioned before, especially with Colombian coffees, he's very tuned in to harvest and fresh coffee because, as he says, Colombian coffees age quickly and he doesn't sit on them long.
And so I'm not trying to say that the coffee is old or anything, but could it be just a little bit older means it's not quite as active, even though it's been delicious. And you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it's speculation. I don't think so. I think it has more to do with how heat is applied, how it's roasted, how quickly it's roasted, what temperatures it's brought up to. At least in my experience, I've noticed sometimes with longer roasts, it's more active. And I don't know if that's because you go through more the Maillard phase and you introduce more carbon particulates. Tim, to his own admission, he did a nice Q&A. It's on his Facebook feed. He saved it where they ask him questions directly to how he roasts. And I thought it was kind of interesting. He's very quick. His development time is short compared to, the more traditional or versus the rail style.
Scott Rail.
Yeah, the real style of rail. So I think maybe that has something to do with it because it's a characteristic that's in all of his coffees that we've experienced.
Okay, so we got a sick flat bed. We've got it, wet sand looking, but it stopped at 3:30. 3:30, bro, is what the drawdown time was. I'm looking for 3 on the dot. Yeah, it's
what are you, a
3
snob?
o'clock on the dot.
You remember we used to go to 4?
Top, cruising the streets.
Remember we used to do 4?
Oh, yeah.
So we're at 3. Let's taste it.
I got a sweet little cup of coffee that's waiting for me. Okay, sorry. Here we go.
Oh, you got the bowl?
Yeah, I got the bowl. When I got the spoon, I picked up the bowl.
That's good. Were they together?
No.
No.
Plus, I wouldn't judge them if they were.
Spoons and bowls, they typically.
Tipica.
Barbone and Tipica. All right, Jake. Pour it up. Let's see. So I'll get the next grind going.
Shout out to my man, John. Is it John? What's our name? The guy from Mug. Gil. Sorry, Gil and John.
We're all sorts of mess with names today, aren't we?
Sorry, fellas. Sorry for disrespecting you in that fashion. But here, these are the Mug mugs. I don't think we have any more. There's none for sale anymore. But
one.
Mug mugs.
Uno.
They're very cool. Oh, uno, muggo. Don't you get up in my face, so. And it's just very cool. Just very cool. Look at that. Those cacti on there. Oh. So, yeah. Hand me that other thing.
Yeah, so here, go ahead and read. Now, the other one of the coffee was Colombia.
I was actually, maybe I could give Sean a shout out for his...
you want to talk about this little guy?
Yeah, just real quick.
Sure.
My man, Sean, made a little coaster for us. So that was very cool. Yeah, little orange cactus coaster. Very nice. Thank you, Sean. All right, yeah, hand me the book. Let me get to reading here.
So I couldn't find a section first on Colombia, but then it's hidden. It's hidden within this
Colombia
paragraph here, starting
many varieties.
Caturra.
All right. Many varieties of Caturra derived from the Hybrido de Timor, originally crossed with Caturra, produce an inferior cup quality. Catimors grow throughout the world, though often under less infamous names. Lempira in Honduras, Cuscatleco in El Salvador. Man, I am really killing it today.
We're doing
Colombia and Castillo in Colombia. Y Café 90 in Costa Rica. Ruyuru 11 and Batian in Kenya. Oh, they probably say it a little different. I don't know how they say it.
Probably a lot different.
Sarchimor throughout Central America, and so on. Each new one seems better than the one that came before it, but they are all more or less the same. They start off nice enough with good or green, even great, or good or even great aromatics, not green aromatics. Scratch that. You know what I'm saying? Ryan didn't mess that up. I messed that up. And they offer a sweet cup when hot, but as they cool, they typically fall apart, lose their sweetness, often become quite astringent, and almost invariably turn into green vegetal cups.
So it's interesting. It doesn't sound too hot on this particular.
No, wow. Variety. I don't even want to drink it. I don't want to offend Ryan right now. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So I think it makes sense for you to do it again because
you went the wrong way.
We want the variables.
I fold it towards the top side, high side on the V60.
Oh, does that? Okay.
You fold it towards the high side.
Fold it whatever way you want.
You fold it towards the high side. That way the fold goes with the ridges. So when you scoop the spoon, it doesn't bumpity bump it.
Oh.
Keep it smooth, baby.
Yeah. When did you become such a
V60 Pro?
Technician? You don't do that in any other areas of your life.
I hate you.
Well, you should see the comments on the Breville video. You know, if you do this or that.
Oh, I knew they were coming.
I'm just teasing. They're good, actually. Good feedback. Yes, there's always better ways to do it, and I should not be so proud as to not accept some advice from Jake. I mean, it ties in with a question you posted the other day. When was the last time you had someone critique your brew method? And for us, it's every day.
Always.
But it's good. It's good. It pushes us to be better and not be so...
It pushes us to the limits.
Or to the limits. There you go. Get that guy going. That's number 2. Number 2. Oh, thanks, Jake.
It looks a little fine.
It might be a little bit. We went about 30 seconds longer. I think your pouring is off.
I think your grind is off.
You're agitating too much.
I think you're agitating.
You can compensate if you think it's too fine by agitating less.
Is that right?
That's a tip for you.
Oh, pro tip.
Yeah, exactly.
I forget what I was reading. I was on somebody's site. Oh, Angel's Cup.
You were on Angel's Cup.
Angel's Cup, and they had a little pro tip on there. They even said pro tip.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Wow. Look, pride comes before the fall. That's what happens.
That's okay. I don't expect much from you, so really it can't be disappointing. That's advice.
No, that makes sense. That's clever. That's good.
Gary V says, don't expect anything from anybody, and you will live a much happier life.
There's a part of me that wants to pour just a little bit of boiling water on you, like accidentally.
That's fine. I wouldn't have expected it, so it would have been funny. So what else can I pull out from Ryan's book? He goes into a few other the variety. He doesn't go through all of them, but he does highlight, I think, some of the ones that he said were more worth noting. So let me go ahead and read SL28, because that is the other coffee. He kind of groups them together here with SL28 and SL34. Ryan says, to the horror of Kenyan coffee fanatics around the world, I will group SL28 and SL34 together in one description. That's great. I like that opener. Sets it up. While you can find these cultivars outside of Kenya, a handful of notable producers in El Salvador and elsewhere in Central America grow them. Yeah. It's rare. These varieties serve as the backbone of most of the coffee you've tasted from Kenya.
Huh.
Interesting, huh? To explain briefly, Scott Laboratories, or SL, was a coffee research organization based in Kenya from 1930s to the 1960s that did substantial work on cultivar development.
That's pretty cool.
In the search,
no idea what SL. Now you know. That's a little pro tip. Little pro tip for your coffee conversations.
Yeah.
Is that an SL28?
No. Is that Scott Laboratories?
Is that Scott Laboratories 28? Or Scott Laboratories 34?
They're going to start thinking it's like Rayo had something to do with
Rayo.
it. Yes, this is the Rayo 28. In the search of coffee with sparkling acidity, SL focused their efforts on naturally occurring phosphoric acid. As a result, much of their development was based on mocha and bourbon brought from Yemen and Reunion Island.
I hate to interrupt you, but we got a much faster drawdown on this one.
Respectively. Which is interesting. What are we at? 240.
240.
Yeah, that's more what I anticipated. So then the first one was
Maybe
you.
I excavated too long in the first one. Maybe I was digging it out too much there.
Maybe.
Spent a little too much time.
You spent a little too much time with the spoon?
Digging. Don't be spending that much time digging, bro.
They numbered their cultivar developments, and 2 have stood out over time. Can you guess which 2?
SL28 and SL34.
Pretty good, buddy.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Here we go. SL28 has light green buds and produces a cup more known for its buds, and more known for its soft stone fruit, creamy, and floral flavors. It is the most delicate of the 2, or more delicate. SL34 has bronze-colored buds and produces a zestier cup verging on tangerine with dark chocolate. It is hard to say what makes coffee from Kenya so distinct. Many point their finger at the long, slow soaking and fermentation steps, others at the strict grading process, and yet others at the competitive auction system. But to ignore the excellence of these 2 varieties among the best Kenyan coffees would be foolish.
And we're not foolish. We're American, but we're not foolish.
just to clarify, in case.
They're frequently very close.
So the white cup is number 2.
Right. Well, no, the mug is number 1. Because I have a white mug.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So you can't go El Diablo Blanco on me over here.
Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying. You're not dumb. There's number 1. So, yeah, to remind you, Jake, you're either getting brown sugar, citrus, and red currants from the Colombian Caturra, or you're getting black currants and flowers. So, for me, I'm going to try and find which one tastes like flowers. That's what I'm doing.
You know what we're missing?
A little seltzer.
Little seltzer water.
Yeah, I was going to ask, but I didn't think you had any.
No, it's upstairs.
I assumed you would have got it.
No, it's
with
legit.
the spoon in the bowl.
Totally, yeah.
You want to get it? Should we get it?
Yeah. Pause? I'm going to wait for you to say pause, and then I'm going to pause it.
Ooh, that one's different. Yeah, pause.
Okay, I'm back with seltzer water. So we've only had to stop brewing and reviewing 2 or 3 times because of ill preparation, poorly prepared, something like that. Right?
I'm ready.
Okay.
So cleanse the palate.
Rocking these not neutral glasses from my favorite smoke cortados.
And going for number 2. Number 2.
It reminds me of Austin Powers. Who does number 2 work for? You show that turd who's boss, Mikey. You show that number 2 coffee who's boss. Coffee does help you go number 2, by the way.
We always end up in the restroom somehow, don't we?
Like together?
No.
No.
In these episodes. Oh. The talk always
ends up. Hi. Welcome. Coffee in the bathroom.
Yeah, I just like to save time,
Okay, I think I know what's what. I believe number 1 to be the SL28 with black Currant.
You nailed.
Killing it. Black Currants and flowers.
Black flowers and currants.
And I believe number 2 to be the Colombia y Caturra, brown sugar, citrus, and red currants. I'm basing this off my vast knowledge of what the difference between black currant and red currant is.
I think raspberry, blackberry. I don't know. That's what I'm going with.
I have no idea what a currant is. No, I do. We've said this before. I remember going to a bar in Warsaw, or a club in Warsaw, with my dad's Russian friend when I visited.
Is that Poland?
Poland, yeah. And they didn't have screwdrivers. They don't do vodka and orange juice. They do vodka and black currant juice.
Oh, I thought you were going to say only nuts and bolts. They don't use screwdrivers.
They don't use screwdrivers, just nuts and bolts.
Just the metric
just brackets. Metric brackets.
System.
Metric sockets. Perfect. Hi, welcome.
And rivets. Everything's hardcore looking.
The club we went to was in a bomb shelter.
Yeah, so that makes sense. What are you doing? Are you going to tell the story? What are you going to say?
I've already told it like 100 episodes
It
ago.
was like a year ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Probably longer. Yeah, at least a year ago.
Yeah. Well, before we had this, I remember in a Barista Hustle subscription a while back, we did the Coffee
It's pretty
Collective.
sweet, though. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it's tough. I'm not ready to make a decision yet.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have.
And we reviewed it, and we said in the video then, we don't know what black currants are. And Matt actually commented and said, hey, I need to get you guys some berries when you come out. I think he said to Australia at that time.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, black currant.
I guess it's a berry.
Yeah, it's more popular in Europe. I know we used to you could buy black currant juice in little liter cartons. Liter cartons.
Okay, you're distracting me.
Sorry. My beauty does that. I'm looking at the camera right now. If you're watching on YouTube, I apologize. I'm probably distracting you. You probably got lost in my eyes, and that's okay. I would recommend that you listen on the podcast. It's a lot safer.
So
that way you can just hear the sweet sound of my sultry voice without having to deal with all that.
yeah, this is one. This is one, right? The all whites were two, yes.
What? No, New Zealand All Blacks, not all whites.
No, yeah, their opponent, or the all whites, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. They're rivals.
Locked in eternal. No, the Mug Mugs were number one. First brew.
Yes. And then the cafe mugs.
I think I'm opposite of you. I'm thinking one is the Colombia Caturra. I think I'm getting brown sugar. I think the SL28 is in the number two, number all white.
Maybe what I'm getting, what I think is red currant is actually the flower. Is that what you're getting? Kind of that?
I just licked it. You saw that.
So did everyone else. So did everyone else.
A little dribble running away. Well,
look at
the flowers.
Right? I mean, let's just be real.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a little floral.
You come into our office. This is like our kitchen. This is where we make coffee, where we drink coffee. You're going to see things that Mike would normally not do if he were out in public.
Unsee.
Right, that too. But if he were out in public, he wouldn't be like this. All over the dribbles. You know what I mean?
You just gave me the screenshot, buddy.
He doesn't do that. I wanted to make sure you had a good screenshot.
And I don't know. All right. So I think... Wow, that one was a little different. Yeah, I'm struggling here. I'm not sure. I think the first one's got brown sugar, though. I'm getting like a brown sugar.
It's hard. It's really hard. I thought there was like a pepper kind of spiciness to one of them.
Yeah.
But it's gone now. Yeah. I can't find it.
It's the first one. Which I think is the brown sugar and citrus working together.
And what did I say? I said the other one, right? I said it the other way?
Yeah, I think
you're saying number one is number one and number two is number two, and I'm saying number two is number one and number one is number two, or number two is number one.
You're saying the first brew. Whoa, don't tip it over.
There's
I thought you were not.
Okay,
I was going to see. We almost ruined it. All right, so should we reveal? You ready to? I'm sticking with that. I think yes, the first brew is number one. Or no, wait, no. I think the first brew. That doesn't mean anything. Yeah. What? Okay, good. No, I think the first brew is. The Colombian Caturra.
Yeah.
And the second brew is the SL28. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, if I said the first brew was number one, we already knew that. That wouldn't be my...
No, that's good. That's good stuff.
Oh, I was right. Look.
So, hey, I was totally right. The first one that we brewed was number one. Is Ab cramping up on you there?
No, it's so funny. We've paused the show so many times we forgot how it started. It's like, we're deep in this one now.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's left listening, so we might as well just check it.
I think Luis is still with us.
Oh, thanks, Luis. Thanks for hanging in there all the way to the end.
Yeah, these are both good.
Are we checking? All right.
Yeah, I think number two is SL28.
Number two is SL28.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Can you see? I don't know if they can see.
No, of course they can't see because I could barely see it on there.
You can see it, except it's upside down.
It's pretty much exactly what I said.
Yeah, I don't know. There you go. I was right. I don't know if you were right. You were kind of maybe. You were confused.
There's a lot of that going on.
Very confused. Well, I think 1 came first and then 2 followed up. And I think 2 was just as good as 1, but slightly better. I think the Caturra and the Colombia had some nice highlights, but the SL28 stood above them all. Is that what you're saying?
If you say so. I don't know. I think I'm just geeking out that they have all these different coffee varietals on the same farm.
That's cool. But you can tell a difference.
You can definitely tell the difference.
Whether you can pick it out. But I think the flower, the SL28 to me, has always stood out. Like it's a very potent.
I think that flower, I think I mistook for the red currant.
Maybe.
Having a lack of currency in my life has led me to mistake the flower for the currant.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
I'm currently ignorant.
I'm currently ignorant.
I'm currently ignorant. All currents lead to the ocean, they say. Or is it? No, it's all rivers.
All drains lead to the ocean. I think that was from Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I think you're right. All drains. Okay.
Fish got to swim. Birds got to eat. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's it. Thank you, John. Thank you, Tim. Yep. This is great coffee.
It's wonderful. SL28. If you haven't tried it, next time, pay attention to not only where it's from, but what varietal it is, and see if you can pick out some of the unique characteristics of that varietal. If you need help figuring out what that means, maybe pick up yourself a copy of the book by Ryan Brown. Dear Coffee Buyer.
Are there still listeners out there who have not yet bought Dear Coffee Buyer? For real. For real. Go to the show notes and pick it up. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We help you.
Because just because you don't know
doesn't mean it's not important.
Yeah, just because you don't know doesn't mean we should.
Huh?
We don't get any money for the sales.
Oh, no. We don't get any money for anything.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Check's in the mail.
Check is in the mail.
All right. Until the next time.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think of varieties.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in with us. As always, you can find the show notes at orangecactuscoffee.com/review14. That's right, review 14. Catch us on the YouTube, catch us on the Facebook, catch us on that IGTV. We'll catch you next time.